What the heck? What are you doing? Get over there, quit acting all surprised. Got some special stuff going on today. All right,
Okay.
Now here's what we're doing. This is fantastic. First of all, hello. John from Hillbilly Select Reviews, another great episode with
Isaiah
and
Chili Dog Mike.
what is this? McKenna 10yr bourbon. Whoa, bottled in bond. It's got all kinds of writing and everything explaining everything about it. Have you all heard of Wolcott? What does this say?
I've heard some good stuff
This is
about
100. No, what is that? 90 something. I can't read it with the gold.
90 proof.
90 proof Wolcott. Buffalo Trace. And what is the proof on the Buffalo Trace? Does anybody know offhand?
90.
90. All right, so we got two 90s and 100. Buffalo Trace, the vaulted or whatever they call it. What do they call it? Anyway, we're gonna do it.
the prestigious, the almighty Buffalo Trace.
The McKenna ain't no kids game, and the Wolcott. Now, this has been poured for us
Yep.
by the director.
Yep.
Our number 1s and 2s and 3s are all the same. On the bottom of these coasters, did we see it? I picked them all up and didn't even pay attention. Is the numbers of what order, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to do a taste test, rate them, rate our 1, 2, and 3, and then we will reveal what is 1, 2, and 3.
Sounds right.
Now,
And if you
before
want to guess which is which, you can. I'm just going to say what I think's best. I'm not really that
Now,
versed.
Isaiah, have you had any of these before?
So I've had the McKenna 10 and
Okay.
I've had the Buffalo Trace. I have not had the Wolcott yet.
Okay.
So it's going to be, I'm kind of excited to try that one. I've heard some good things about it, so I'm excited. We'll see what
I'm excited too. I'll tell you what, I've had all these separately, and I've had them all with time in between them. I've never had them close together. So I'm excited to see, one, how they're going to compare, and two, if I even know what I'm talking about. So
Well, let's see. Well, you can't be wrong if you like something. You like it.
if you like it, you
smell
like it.
something, you
I
smell
love that.
something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do number 1.
So we're all three going to do the same at the same time, which is obviously we're starting off with number 1. I got some sweetness.
Yeah.
That's some candied fruit.
Yeah, but the alcohol's really starting to pull through on
I already know what one's the McKenna.
it. Of course you do.
Thanks.
He thinks you see. Freaking see.
I'm on number 2.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Must be up.
Number 2 is the McKenna.
No, I was about to say number 2's got a really, really strong nose, so that leads me to be, it's not always correct, but that nose leads me to believe that that's the strongest proof, because we only have one that breaches 100 proof, and I feel like
Plus,
the nose on
I don't
the
want
second is really
to
hot.
really try and guess what anything is because I don't want to be influenced. Now, I smelled the candied fruit there.
I'm gonna
I
give
smell a
them
little more burn on this one.
100%.
And I think I smell a little more, well, I know I smell a little more wood. Leads me to believe it's 10 years old.
I'm
It
gonna
may
give
not be.
it a little nose on the third.
Yeah, I'm still kind of new to this bourbon in a way that you've been doing this a lot longer than I have. So some of the things you just smell, some things you're tasting, your palate, you got that figured out. I'm still trying to figure out what it is I'm actually smelling and tasting. So, but not between the first two. I feel like this one has a little more stronger alcohol.
The sensory, there's so much
Number one.
there's so much to get used to. There's so many different smells. Because I remember when I was taking my test for the Staves and Thieves certification. I mean, there was over 50 to 100 different smells that you could potentially smell.
Right.
And I mean, it takes a lot, and even I don't even know half of them. I mean, so it's overwhelming for sure. So.
Yeah.
Even somebody that's seasoned is still going to have trouble picking up on everything.
All right, so I'm going to tell you
Smelling the third one is definitely not as hot as the second one, but it's still right there with the sweetness that compares to
this.
number
Not as
one.
hot, and I'm getting a distinct caramel vanilla.
That's what I get. The caramel.
Distinct caramel vanilla. And I don't care which one of these wins, because I don't make any of them, but I'll say this to you. Man, I'm torn. For smell, this one's the least for me, number 1. Man, and I'm gonna go with.
I feel like I've already figured it out.
Well, number 2 is gonna be for smell. I've got number 2, number 3, and number 1 on smell.
I've got
I haven't tasted it.
I've got number 2
Nice.
that I think is number 1.
Well, I'm not guessing any of that,
Well,
You can.
I'm gonna go ahead and
but
throw mine out there just because I don't want to change it later on. This is based off smell, without tasting it, strictly smell. I feel like I've got the Henry McKenna as number 2. I've got Buffalo Trace as number 1, and then I've got Wolcott as number 3. That's my personal.
I'm Henry McKenna on smell number 2, Buffalo Trace number 3, and Wolcott number 1.
And it is crazy that you said that because I have the same exact thing.
All right.
Number 2, McKenna. Number 3, Buffalo.
All right.
Number 1.
Now that's on smell. That's
It's
my
smell,
order.
yeah.
Now we will taste it.
Going number 1.
Number 1.
No, it's good. It's a little hotter than I thought it would be. You think it's a little hot? It's a little hotter than I thought it would be based off of smell.
It is hot. The smell was the tamest.
Yeah.
The heat, and we haven't tasted the other ones. The heat's rough.
You're right. The heat is really coming off of that one. It's not bad. I mean, it's good heat. I like it. It doesn't taste bad.
What about, we're getting the Kentucky Hug. What about the flavors?
First one, I'm getting some vanilla for sure. There's definitely vanilla in it.
Dad,
Absolutely.
Hello. Sorry guys for the interruption. My daughter's up a little late.
Hi
There,
there.
sweetheart.
where's Axel?
Now,
So I get the vanilla. Like you all said, I mean, it is kind of, it's a little hot. But I do get the vanilla
make the video right
on the
there.
end. On the,
Alright.
my baby.
Get the vanilla. What do you get?
No, the vanilla is super
You get
strong.
the heat.
There is a backpedaling a little bit there of maybe some caramel that I'm getting. And we're still talking about the first one, correct, Des?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Almost get an apple smell. Or I mean taste.
It's weird when you say words like when you put that in there. It's like I almost didn't, but now that you say that, I can definitely see that for sure.
On that.
Someone's we've got several people trying to find directions to us because obviously we're having such a good time.
Alright. Beautiful. So,
We ready for the second one?
number 2.
Number 2. Again, this is the one that came off to me as the strongest smelling, which lead me to believe it was the one bottled and bond in our lineup. But now that we've had it sitting here for 5 minutes, it's nowhere near as hot as it was.
You know what? It was the number 1 heat smell
Yeah.
and way less than the other one in alcohol burn.
Yeah.
Way
100%.
less.
After this is
Taste and the taste was.
taste one. This has cooled down a lot, and it's actually nowhere near as hot smelling.
No, the other one was way
Well,
more.
originally I'd say,
Now we gotta rethink it.
I'd say this wasn't the hot one. I thought the first one was the hot one.
Oh yeah, but if this is the one we thought was the higher proof.
This is. Did you taste it?
Yes.
That is sweet.
It is.
That is really sweet. That's.
And for me, that's one thing I like about bourbon. I like the bourbon to have a sweetness to it.
Right. Absolutely.
And this is really good.
See, we got 290, so you can't really go by proof. One's 100. It's not that much more. It's not like we got a barrel proof and an 80. But all right, so there that is. Now remember, we're gonna have to rate these.
Yeah, we did the first rating on smell, so we'll wrap this third one up here, and then we'll do the second rating on the
Taste.
taste.
It's more important.
And I'm already at the point now to where it's like I'm already confused with my first initial, so this will be fun.
Well, what's more important is not that we guess which one's worse. That's not even a little bit important. What's more important is what we think is better. Guessing means nothing.
All right.
And that's always the fun of it.
It's fun, but I mean, it means nothing. The taste is what means everything.
It means absolutely nothing, and I'm going to divide. Me personally, I'm going to divide it up into. What I think it could be, but then I'm also going to follow
Holy
it up
smokes.
with what I think is the best.
This sucker.
So I'm gonna tell you like this.
This
right?
sucker-
This is
hot.
this is heat.
Yeah. So you all think this is a.
All right, so I'll lay mine out real quick. Since I was the first last time, I'll follow in order, and I'll be the first again.
Right here.
So I'm gonna go right now, and again, this is strictly based off of taste. I'm going to go number 3 as the Henry McKenna. I'm going to go number 1 as the Buffalo Trace, and number 2 as the Wolcott. That's strictly off of taste that I just did. That's not what I think is best, but just strictly what I think it may be.
All right. I'm gonna keep mine the same, but I'm ready to tell you what my taste is.
Okay.
And when you and whoever wants to go first, you want me to go first?
Well, let me do mine. Because if I'm going off the taste,
So off taste now. You're rating it. You're keeping your smell the same.
I'm keeping my smell
All
the
right,
same.
so am I.
But the taste, I know that the Henry McKenna is the higher
Right.
for the 3. But to me, I always feel like the McKenna has a distinct taste to it, to where you wouldn't really know it was a bonded bourbon. So I'm going number 2.
That high proof really
Yeah.
really hides behind the flavor it's
Right.
packing.
And I think the sweetness of that you get on it, I look at the tone as well, but the sweetness, and it's not as hot as the other 2. So I'm going number 2 is my Henry McKenna.
Okay.
I'm going number 1 Buffalo Trace, and number 3 Wolcott.
All right. Well, I'm keeping mine the same, but now we will reveal what we think tastes. That's the most important, not our guess of which
I know
is.
that.
You're absolutely
What
right.
is the taste? You want me to go? Because I'm ready.
I'll go first. I'll tell you what. I'm feeling ambitious today. I'm going to go with number 2 as far as pure taste, and I'll tell you why. I'm a high proof guy. Everything that I like tends to be high proof, and it's not on purpose. It's just I really like that in your. I'm a big Scotch fan, so I really like that in your face, oaky, high proof. Just almost chewing on a bark of wood. I dig that. From the get go, just based off of smell, number 2 was the hottest for me, smell wise. But when I ended up tasting all 3 of them, number 2 ended up being one of the smoother tasting. So high proof nose, but number 2 ended up being tasting really, really sweet, really fruit forward. So I'm going to go with number 2 being my personal favorite on taste.
All right.
John, what you got?
Well, since I think number 2 is the McKenna, if I was trying to look like I knew what the hell I was doing, I would pick it because it's the McKenna 10yr and nobody did. However, number 3 is my number 1 pick on taste, followed by number 2. Number 1 would be least.
Okay. So I'm going right to it. Taste, smell, everything.
Number 2.
This will be my favorite.
All right, that's beautiful.
Number 2.
And that one in my nose, but go ahead.
And then
Not taste.
number 3, and then number 1, which I think number 1 is Buffalo Trace.
All right. So shall we? So everybody move their glasses like I did. So my first, in order. See what I'm saying? Like, what was your first one that you liked the most?
First
Taste
one I
wise.
like the most was the second.
Let's
Okay.
put that up.
I'm going to go number 2.
All right, and this is behind
Number
it.
3,
All right,
correct.
what about you? All right, like that.
So, yep, same thing with Mikey.
All right,
so-
and I'm in a diagonal. All right, well, are we ready?
Let's go.
Are we ready?
Ready?
Oh, it's on the bottom. Number
Oh.
2. So this is
Oh, wow.
my favorite is Wolcott.
Well, your favorite's Henry McKenna.
Oh, my favorite is Henry McKenna.
Yeah, it's 3, 1, 2.
All right, Henry McKenna is my favorite, followed by number 1, which is
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace, and Wolcott. I picked it last. All right, so I picked Henry McKenna first on the one I didn't think was Henry McKenna on smell. Screwed that up, but I wouldn't. Yeah, it was my guess. Anyway, I don't care about what I guessed. My taste was Henry McKenna, Buffalo Trace, Wolcott. Anybody?
Okay, so-
Buffalo Trace, Henry McKenna, Wolcott.
Okay, so, because I got confused here for a second.
1, 2, 3.
So here's the order.
So that's Buffalo
Henry,
Trace.
this is Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
That's your favorite,
Okay.
which is my second
Henry
favorite.
McKenna,
Okay.
And
Your second was my first. So we're close. We're close.
Yeah.
Poor Wolcott.
Buffalo Trace.
I completely missed
And what is he now?
Same as him. Buffalo Trace,
Okay.
Henry McKenna, Wolcott.
So I seem to be.
So the 90 was the outlier for those two. You picked the 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, hope you have as much fun
The
as we
thing,
do.
here's the thing that I
Woo,
want to
woo.
But I want to point out real quick, this was nowhere near what I thought it would be. So that's kind of the fun in this thing is you never really know. So
I was thinking I was going out. I'm going to make my own. That I was going out and saying, man, you think McKenna should win,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to pick it. And but it was it. didn't.
Actually, it just.
And this, if I had to guess, what should happen is this.
Yeah.
And I got it, but I got that just because that's what most people would think. McKenna's going to win, then the Buffalo, and it did for me, but not for everybody. This has won a lot of awards. This Wolcott really has.
Well, that kind of thing. I was so sure that was Henry McKenna. And
I was too.
But I haven't
On
had,
smell.
I haven't had the Buffalo Trace in a while, which I really love that as well. But the sweetness and everything I got, I could have swore that would have been.
But it doesn't. But the thing is not that you guess it. That means nothing. What they're interested in, what anyone should be interested in, is what we think is our best.
Yep.
That's all that matters. The guessing's fun, but it means nothing. So there it is, folks. There's our picks.
And 2 of 3 you can get on the shelf every day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So these two are pretty more common, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, the McKenna 10, a little harder to get.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting screwed, this one for sure is a great price. What would you say this is?
25.
25.
25.
25 if you're not being screwed.
40.
40 if you're not being screwed. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on the next one, right, boys?
absolutely, can't wait.